First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Here's the punter, Sam Martin, now ready to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And we'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go, come on.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Miles Killebrew with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
On the ball, on the ball.
Again, it's Johnson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hurry!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Johnson, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd down, Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
On the ball, on the ball.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards. And now a decision here on 4th and 1. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Green Bay's offense coming out onto the field, and week 2 of the preseason, they were electric. 51 points they put up against the Steelers.
And Aaron Rodgers got his first action of the preseason and led an opening drive for a touchdown, so he felt great. But the activity is behind him. Brett Hundley, his backup last season, he's having a terrific preseason. He played a little bit and did just fine, 6 of 9 throwing the ball. DeShone Kizer got his first extended action of the preseason. He was terrific, 7 of 12, 149 yards, 2 touchdown passes. The Packers are building some real depth at the quarterback position.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Hey, 626.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
On the ground, this is Johnson. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Let's go now, let's go. Hey.
They go to Johnson again. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now it's him carry for Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. As the Packers make their way back out here on offense, talk about Mr. Davis's trip to Green Bay. You've been doing the camp visits and Went up to Green Bay. You had a great time, didn't you?
I certainly did, partner, and I went full fan, full historian, Packers lore. So while I was there, I drove to Vince Lombardi's house and kind of communed there for a little while. And the people who lived there, the same family that bought it from the Lombardi family back in late 1960s, still there, and they're used to this. I went by the Union Hotel where the Packers were formed. I went by St. Norbert's College where the Packers used to do the entire training camp. The only thing I haven't done yet, visited Curly Lambeau's gravesite. That's my next visit.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a second down.
Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Hundley. This will be his first throw off the bench. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Johnson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Johnson. And a solid run down inside the 30. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Johnson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will make our score 9-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Miles Campbell with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
Big 20, big 20. Set. Go 20.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here we go, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Here we go.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Tag 50, tag 50.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Nick Perry with a pick. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Hey, while we got a second, let's talk rookie running backs. Obviously, the headliner is Saquon Barkley, but there's a lot of good other backs in this class, are there not?
There certainly are, and there was a surprise first-round pick to many people out of San Diego State named Rashad Penny, who went to Seattle. They're trying to recreate that strong running game that they had that powered them to 2 Super Bowl appearances. How about Royce Freeman in Denver? A big-time pickup out of the University of Oregon. They expect him to be the lead runner when the season begins. He'll get every opportunity to do that. Kerryon Johnson in Detroit, out of Auburn. They haven't had a running game since I can't remember, and they need to take some pressure off of Matthew Stafford. Maybe Kerryon Johnson can power him that way. How about a couple below-the-radar guys? Chris Warren is leading the NFL in rushing after 2 weeks, undrafted out of Texas, running the ball well for Oakland. And if John Kelly can step in and give him some good play in Los Angeles, they've got great insurance for Todd Gurley, who, of course, is their lead back.
A lot of good ones. Of course, the class would have been even better had Darius Geis not gone down with that ACL injury. Tough break for Washington. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Packers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Rodgers now to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So 1:55 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Throwing, Hundley. They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
It's caught outright by Graham. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. He's going to look deep down the field. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They give him a gain of 38. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Jumbo! Hey, let's go, come on. Jumbo! No.
Rodgers now on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Quadre Diggs. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's a nice run by Kerryon Johnson, the rookie out of Auburn who went in the second round to the Lions. And Brandon, you have to give Lions credit. They keep trying to find that running back that can be dependable for them so they don't have to use Theo Riddick, who's more of a third down back, as their primary ball carrier.
They're certainly hoping to find it in Johnson, the 2017 SEC Player of the Year. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Set. 180.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Lions on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. .47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point good by Prater, and that will make this a 19-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Hey, switching gears for a second, halfway through the preseason, any big takeaways that you've seen so far, Charles?
Just a few come to mind. Number one, the roster of 90 that stays that way throughout preseason, I think is a boom for every team because you can practice a little bit better, get a few more things done because you have more bodies, and those guys get to get on tape for 4 preseason games. So I think that's really good. The other part is normal execution. Struggle a little bit. Early in the season, guys trying to get it back together. And last but not least, the practice of...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They'll run it with Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Zoom. Inside. Go to 50.
They'll try to get something going with Ty Montgomery. Finding room at the 30. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Hundley. Try to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, CD, regular season inching closer. You know, looking at the ledger of the games, we'll just stick with the NFC right now, but it starts with a bang, Atlanta at Philly on the 6th.
How about the last 2 teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl head-to-head to start the season? The Falcons, they didn't win it. Philadelphia did. And then how about this for a second game? San Francisco at Minnesota. In normal years, it doesn't get as much attention, but how about now? Jimmy Garoppolo leading the 49ers to take on now Kirk Cousins' Minnesota Vikings.
Anything else there from the NFC Week 1 catching your eye?
Well, I think the Dallas Cowboys at Carolina, that definitely does, because the Cowboys are trying to get back to the playoffs. Dak Prescott, full season of Ezekiel Elliott, and, of course, number 1, the big man, Cam Newton, will welcome them to Charlotte. And to finish things off, the last game of the season openers, the Los Angeles Rams, last year's revelation, taking on John Gruden's Oakland Raiders. How about that?
Check four, check four. Mike, 53.
On third down, that's Johnson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Lets this one rip toward Graham. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jimmy Graham, 55 yards. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Now Mike McCarthy saying, let's go for two.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that, not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And Detroit getting set to go now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they'll start the drive to the ground with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And they'll go on the ground. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Third down. It's Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field.
Reset. Hey, easy. Right.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Rodgers now. From the gun, he'll throw. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. He got 29 yards that time. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Ty Montgomery that time. And it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. Got some real estate inside the 30. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to 1st.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Well, this is something I may never understand. I don't get why a quarterback under duress who has a chance to get rid of the ball and save the yardage keeps it and runs out of bounds. Instead of an incomplete pass and no loss of yardage, it's a 3-yard loss.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Johnson running right. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Taken in at the 22. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw here. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 and a 1st down. Now back to throw. Buying time is, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Sean Robinson able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
The playoffs, but when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind.